So Ben Askren's retirement caught me off guard. I mean, I guess my first reaction is, Ben, congratulations. Thank you for the great memories. It did surprise me though. And okay, let's start at the beginning. Ben goes on Ariel's show, and it appeared that Ariel wasn't given a heads up that Ben was going to announce a retirement. I took that as sincere. Either way, he stated the case for the retirement of saying, hey, I got to have a hip replacement. So then the dialogue starts. Okay, well, how long has his hip been bothering him? Is that, did that have an outcome on the Maya fight? Well, Ben didn't touch on any of that. He didn't offer any excuses like that. But it surprised me that he retired for that reason, only because he had been talking recently, even after the Maya fight, about, look, I'm gonna have to take some time to see if I even want to do this anymore. So I had no idea he had this hip bothering him. And when he announced his retirement, Ben is such a competitor, and he wanted to be the world champion. And he did it over in Strikeforce, and he did it over in ONE FC. Then he wants the big unification match and just grab all the belts. But a selfish guy will, right? This champ thing is a very real phenomenon going around. I have nothing against it. Grab as much hardware as you possibly can. So I thought if Ben was going to retire, and when I read the headline that he had retired on Ariel's show, I assumed it was just from a competitive standpoint of the road to the championship is not as clear and laid out for me. Guys, don't forget, when Ben came over, he fights Lawler. He's then one fight away from fighting for a championship. Some of us have forgot that piece of history. His fight with Masvidal, should have he won, he would have likely have gone, he'd be fighting for the championship. So he loses to Masvidal, ends up in there with Maya. I mean, overall, it was a very good body of work. And even if he's got 1 wins and 2 losses in the UFC, he's got 19 wins in other places, 2 belts in 2 different divisions. And I do think the story of those 3 fights needs to be told accurately. And he's one of those guys who was vocal, who was in your face. So he's one of those guys that also sets himself up to, have his face rubbed in it like the puppy that missed the paper. But you have to understand that was a big risk that he took. You got to make a debut against Robbie Lawler. That's a hard night out right there. You have to debut against the former world champion. Tough night. Then you go into Masvidal, who is now a champion, at the time was a contender, and take a shot that nobody in the company could take. You could bring in a heavyweight. You could bring any way you want to do it. There was nobody in mixed martial arts that could take that shot. Then you go into a fight with Maya, who's a former #1 contender in 2 separate divisions. They have a fight of the night. It was a great performance. It was a great career. That's the way the story should be told.
Uncle Chill, there's no bad guy like Uncle Chill. He never lost, not even a round. Undefeated, undisputed. Oh yeah, here comes the bad guy. Yeah, Uncle Chill.